In this video, we're continuing on with the Simplifying Rational Expressions worksheet on the KutaSoftware website under the Infinite Algebra 1 section, picking up where we left off with number 9. Now remember, in order to simplify this expression, we're going to need to simplify both the numerator and the denominator, when possible. So we have x minus 4 in our numerator, so we'll leave that as x minus 4 since there's no obvious simplification right away. However, in the denominator for that binomial 3x squared minus 12x, we can pull out an x from each of the terms, and we can also pull out a 3, because 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. So we'll pull out not only an x and not only a 3, but a 3x. So 3x times x equals 3x squared, and we'll be subtracting 3x times 4, because 3x times 4 is 12x. Now you can see that I have x minus 4 over 3x times x minus 4. So my x minus 4's will cancel out, so I'll be left with 1 divided by 3x. 1 over 3x is my solution in number 9. In number 10, let's see if I can simplify this binomial in my numerator. 15 and 3 have a 3 in common, so I'll pull out a 3 to get 5a minus 1, because 3 times 5a is 15a, and 3 times 1 is 3. And in my denominator, I'll still have 24. However, I know that 3 can go into 24, so I'm going to rewrite 24 as 3 times 8. So you can see that now I have my 3's, 1 in my numerator and 1 in my denominator, that will cancel out, because 3 times 8 is 24. So we'll have 5a minus 1 divided by 8 as our solution in number 10. You could have also written this as 3 times 5a minus 1 over 24, and then just divided the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3 to get 1 over 8. And that would be 1 times 5a minus 1, which is 5a minus 1 over 8. Let's continue on to number 11. Now in number 11, our numerator cannot be simplified, so we'll leave this as v minus 5. However, our denominator is a quadratic, so we're going to be able to factor. And in order to do that, we need to see what two numbers multiply to give us 25 and add to give us a negative 10. So the factors of 25 that will work are 5 and 5. 5 times 5 is 25. However, in order to add to get a negative 10, we're going to have negative 5 and negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25, and negative 5 plus negative 5 is a negative 10. So we'll rewrite v squared minus 10v plus 25 as v minus 5 times v minus 5. Now note that v minus 5 will cancel out one of our v minus 5 quantities in our denominator. So for our final solution in number 11, our numerator will be 1 and our denominator will be v minus 5. 1 over v minus 5 is our solution. You also could have recognized that v squared minus 10v plus 25 is in the form of a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So you could have written 25 as v minus 5 over v minus 5 squared, as opposed to v minus 5 times v minus 5. Those denominators are equivalent. And then you would have been able to cancel out this numerator because it has an exponent of 1, and the denominator's exponent would get changed to a positive 1. Because, remembering our law of exponents, we would have v minus 5, that quantity to the 1, minus 2, which is v minus 5 to the negative 1, which is 1 over v minus 5. So that's just another way to think about number 11. So do whatever method's comfortable for you. If you like to write out the law of exponents, feel free to do that. Or if you like to cross out your terms, feel free to do that. Let's continue on to number 12. Number 12 is similar to number 11 in the fact that we need to factor out that denominator. So what two numbers multiply to give us a negative 6 and add to give us a positive 5? So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. However, they need to add to give us 5, but multiply to give us a negative 6. So 2 and 3 will not work. However, if we have a negative 1 and a positive 6, negative 1 plus 6 equals a positive 5, and negative 1 times 6 equals a negative 6. So we're going to rewrite number 12 as x plus 6 divided by x minus 1 times x plus 6. And now you can see that x plus 6 in the numerator will cancel out with x plus 6 in the denominator. So we'll have 1 over x minus 1 as our solution in number 12. Let's continue on to the second page. At number 13, we're going to be simplifying because 27 and 18 have a common factor, and that factor is 9. So we'll have 27 over 9 times 3x is 27x, and 9 times 2 is 18. So that's 9 times 3x plus 2 in our denominator, because when we redistribute that 9, we'll get 27x plus 18. Now note that 27 in the denominator, we could rewrite as 9 times 3. So 9 goes into 27 and 9. So if we rewrite the numerator as 9 times 3, or you can just note that you're dividing both the numerator and denominator by 9. However, writing it out, 9 times 3x plus 2 in the denominator, you'll see that 9 and 9 will cancel out to give me 3 divided by 3x plus 2 as my solution in number 13. And because 3 and 2 do not have a common factor, we cannot simplify any further. So our solution for number 13 is 3 over 3x plus 2. Number 14 is a bit different. In number 14, we have a quadratic in our numerator and a quadratic in our denominator. So we're going to have to simplify each of those. First, let's start with that numerator. What multiplies to give us negative 30 and adds to give us negative 7? Looking at our factors of 30, that will be 3 and 10, where the 10 is negative, because 3 times negative 10 is negative 30, and 3 minus 10 is negative 7. So we'll rewrite our numerator as v plus 3 times v minus 10. Now let's focus on our denominator. We need to see what two numbers multiply to give us negative 24 and add to give us negative 5. Well, the factors of 24 that will work are 3 and 8, where that 8 is negative, because 3 times negative 8 is negative 24, and 3 minus 8 is indeed a negative 5. So we'll have v plus 3 times v minus 8. And you can see right away that v plus 3 and v plus 3 will cancel out to leave us with an answer of v minus 10 over v minus 8. That is our solution in number 14. So looking at 14 right away, it looks complicated because we're going to be dividing one polynomial by another polynomial. However, if you simplify both the numerator and denominator, you will find a common term for number 14 that you can cancel out, which makes simplification a lot easier. Now, before continuing on, don't forget to give me a thumbs up for this video and subscribe to my channel. All likes and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. So now, feel free to continue on to the next video where I'll complete numbers 15 through 20.